90 years ago, the Virginia Farm Bureau made our local farmers a promise to protect and preserve a way of life they worked so hard to establish. Today, our insurance agents work to protect all Virginians, not just farmers. We want to keep Virginia, Virginia. More information is at farmbureauadvantage.com.
The remarkable soybean. From its oil, we get products like ink, candles, and paint. From its meal, we get a high-protein fiber used in foods and animal feeds. Natural soy is replacing chemicals and products you use every day. You can learn more about soybeans at vasoybean.com.
Soil and water quality are key components of the most successful farming operations. This week we visit with an innovative farmer who is trying new things on his poultry and dairy operation. These techniques could have significant implications for improving soil and water quality, as well as overall profitability. We also have a story on what you might find at a Virginia farmers market at this time of the year, and we'll have some tips from Mark Viette concerning springtime yard work. Oh yeah, it's all straight ahead on this episode of Virginia Farming. I'm Jeff Ishii. Farmers markets in Virginia are open for the season. We have seen quite a dramatic increase in the number of farmers markets due primarily to public demand. As more and more people want to know where their food comes from and how it was produced, farmers markets have proliferated. Spring is a wonderful time of the year to visit your local market. At this time of the year, you'll find fresh vegetables, farm fresh eggs and meats. You'll also find plants, lots of plants. We currently have more than 250 public markets here in Virginia. For a directory of farmers markets, you can just see the website virginiagrown.com. Well, Virginia farmers are planting less corn and more soybeans this spring. That's according to the initial prospective planting report provided by the USDA's National Agricultural Statistics Service. A survey of Virginia farmers indicates they intend to plant 480,000 acres of corn this spring. That's down by 10,000 acres from last year. But they also intend to plant 620,000 acres of soybeans, which is up by 10,000 acres from last year. Officials with the Virginia Soybean Association say farmers may be planting more soybeans because of the lower cost of production, as well as the relatively high market demand for soybeans when compared with corn. Well, Governor Terry McAuliffe recently announced one of the largest dairies in the United States is expanding its operations in Virginia. Shamrock Farms opened its facility in Augusta County just 2 years ago and is now set to invest an additional $40 million in increasing capacity. Virginia Secretary of Agriculture and Forestry Basil Gooden said Shamrock Farms, they've committed to quadrupling the amount of milk purchased from Virginia farmers. He says this is evidence of the company's intent to be a long-term corporate citizen and partner in agriculture. Well, Virginia farmers have always been known as innovators. This week we sit down and talk with poultry and dairy farmer Glenn Rhodes, who is working with the National Fish and Wildlife Foundation to improve the soil and air quality and water quality on his farm in Rockingham County. That's our focus on Ag Insights coming up next. Well, this week we're coming to you from the Shenandoah Valley of Virginia. We want to thank the Rockingham County Fair Association for providing this location for us once again. And Mr. Glenn Rhodes is my special guest today. Glenn, I want to thank you for coming out today. Spring is a very busy time for farmers in Virginia, and I want to thank you for taking some time to come out today and talk with Virginia Farming Television.
Well, it's always a good day to talk about agriculture.
It is. Every day is a good day to talk about agriculture, and our focus this week is going to be on conservation efforts with soil and water quality and what Virginia farmers are doing proactively to protect soil and water quality. Glenn, tell us about your farm located in Rockingham County. I believe it's called River Hill Farm, and just tell us about your operation.
Well, it's a family farm. That's not unusual, but we're fairly diversified. We raise turkeys, we have a dairy, we do custom harvesting, and we obviously raise crops to feed the dairy cows. And we're always interested in trying new things to improve on what we've done in the past.
Now, your farm has been in your family for a long time. I believe it dates back to the 1800s?
Our family settled here in the late 1700s. My dad started farming in 1949, in the fall of 1949, and he's still living and still involved in the farm a little.
Now, as I mentioned, we want to talk about improving soil and water quality and what Virginia farmers such as yourself are doing to improve those two things. But your farm is a very diverse farm. As you mentioned, the dairy, the poultry, the row crops. And talk a little bit about the hemp production. You're doing some testing with universities concerning industrial hemp.
Yeah, industrial hemp is an old crop. It was growing back in the 1700s. It was a very important crop, and it became outlawed in around 1930. There's a group of people trying to bring it back into agriculture. It's a very productive crop. It has food value, fiber value, manufacturing value. So it's a crop that we're hoping to bring back to the valley as a commercial crop.
Now let's move to environmental issues, and then I should say right at the outset that Mr. Rhodes' farm here you've been recognized on numerous occasions. I know one was the U.S. Poultry and Egg Association, I believe for the northeastern United States. Your farm was recognized for your environmental efforts. What specifically was that recognition for?
Well, we're in the poultry business, and obviously poultry litter has been an issue in the news over time as having an issue with what do we do with the nutrients. We've hosted several projects on our farm. One is a litter burning project where we can burn this litter, extract the heat as a value, and then left over you have nutrients like phosphorus and potassium that they're now condensed, they're sterile, and they can be shipped out of the region or shipped to other farmers that actually need these nutrients if we have too many on our farm. The fuel or litter in this case drops into the combustion chamber. There's a bar in there that stirs it around, and then on the one side there's an auger that removes the ash. So this is where the combustion takes place and the ash removal happens. This is biochar, or the ash coming out of the unit. If you speed the auger up, you get more biochar. If you slow the auger system down, you'll get more of an ash product.
And you're doing something very, very innovative. I've only seen one in the whole world that is doing something similar to you, and you're burning the used poultry litter to create energy.
That's correct. We take the used litter out of the grow-out barns. We actually recycle the litter out of our brooder barns into our grow-out barns, and at that point when we remove it, it is a fuel source that we can burn to produce heat, which then offsets propane or other energy sources.
You know, I have to think about how many different segments of the agriculture and forestry industry, poultry litter, sometimes that phrase is used in a negative connotation. But poultry litter benefits so many different areas of Virginia agriculture and forestry. First of all, the pulpwood industry is providing those wood shavings. That's a product that can be regrown and reproduced. Now it's coming as bedding for your turkeys that you're growing. And then it is repurposed and used in other poultry houses on your same farm.
Yes.
And then now you're taking it and you're getting another value out of it, that you're burning this used poultry litter and creating energy that you can warm the houses in the winter. And then what happens next?
Well, traditionally, litter is a good fertilizer source. The problem with it is shipping it can be expensive because it's kind of a light product. By burning it and condensing it, you extract energy, which is a value, so that helps offset energy costs. Now you have a product that is easy to move and easy to use other places. And we're early in this process, but that is the goal, is to have small on-farm scale projects where the farmer can extract a value stream out of these products.
So the very end product, after you used it in all your poultry houses, is what?
The very end product will be a nutrient-rich litter ash.
Okay, ash, you call it. Okay.
Ash, or ultimately we're working towards what would be called a biochar. This is where you partially burn the litter, so you still have a large carbon content, which then will be a soil amendment. And there's some research going on that this biochar will actually hold nutrients in the soil. So it'll actually be nutrient rich and help contain the other nutrients that are still in the soil.
It's amazing to me that you have multi-purposed these original wood shavings from the pulpwood industry in so many different ways, and each step of the way you're gaining benefit to the forestry industry, to the agriculture industry, and ultimately it's going to improve the soil.
Yes, that's the ultimate goal, is to improve the soil, which then feeds people, and that's what we need to do.
I know that you've been working with an organization called the National Fish and Wildlife Foundation in this particular project. Tell me about that involvement.
Well, they have been a funding source. They help facilitate these projects. We have 2 separate litter burning projects on our farm. They're also helping with a manure injection process, which that takes dairy manure and injects it into the soil, which you can use your manure to a greater benefit. It retains more nutrients, it doesn't run off during rainstorms, or it reduces the chance of runoff. So they've been a big help in funding ideas that we don't know if they're going to work. This is what research is about, to take funding, do projects, and collect the data.
Yeah, you have to ask the question, why would organizations like the Chesapeake Bay Foundation, the National Fish and Wildlife Foundation, why would they want to be involved with farmers? And the obvious answer to me is they want to improve habitat and they want to improve water quality. Their goals are the same as the farmer.
They are. The goals are to take care of the environment, but we need to look at ways that we can produce food, we can grow products, fiber, and still take care of the environment. In the past, it was always like, we'll use science, we'll throw science at a problem. Well, now we're swinging back to let's use nature again, not just throw chemicals at something. We can use other techniques that have been used in the past. If you want to see the future, look to the past. Things like cover crops, for example.
Yeah. Now, I want to get back to the manure injection that you mentioned, but first of all, let's go back to the burning the poultry litter. Walk me through that process. It comes into the facility, and just kind of walk me through how that works.
Well, initially you take the bedding out of the grow out barns and put them in a storage building. And from there, we move the litter over to the burner site. So we dump this litter that comes right out of the barn into a bin that augers into a burner, and the heat's extracted and the ash is augered out into a storage area.
So what you're heating is water?
Yeah, we're heating water, and this water is used to heat the brooder barn. We have in-floor concrete heating, so we pump the hot water through the floor of the barn to heat the barn.
And then at the very end stage, you're transferring this litter to another house to be repurposed, and then ultimately it's being used as an ash, as you called it, or a nutrient or soil amendment.
Yes, the brooder barn litter will be recycled into the grow out barns, and then that grow out litter goes back into the burner, and the end product is an ash.
You mentioned a term that I'm not familiar with. I've heard it, and one day we'll have to have you back on the program, biochar. That is something that I've heard a lot about, but essentially what is biochar?
Biochar is wood or other biomass products that are burned with limited access to oxygen. So it's partially burned and mainly carbon remains. The carbon structure is used in water treatment and different processes. It's a very good filtering medium. We hopefully on the farm can use this biochar product to go back into the soil to add carbon into the soil. And the benefits are, there needs to be a lot more research done on that, but initial research is proving that it has a huge benefit.
Just a couple of minutes remaining in this segment, and we're talking with Glenn Rhodes in Rockingham County, poultry, dairy farmer, row crop farmer. Tell me more about this manure injection. This is a lot different from what we've seen in the past, where used poultry litter is just kind of thrown out on top of the soil.
Yeah, even in dairy manure, it's a very liquid manure often, so you spread it on top of the surface of the soil traditionally. There's work being done to inject this manure under the surface of the soil. It has numerous benefits. It reduces odor, it reduces the chance of runoff, and you get more value from the product because the nutrients stay in the soil and they don't necessarily gas off into the air. Things like nitrogen are retained because it's in the soil.
Now, if you as the farmer had to go out and buy all this equipment on your own, I suspect it would be cost prohibitive. You couldn't do it.
It is very expensive. What's neat about the granting process is you can bring equipment into an area and you can demonstrate. I think ultimately it will be cost effective for more farmers to do it, but you need someone to step up and help with the process of introducing new technology.
Tell me more about that relationship briefly with the National Fish and Wildlife Foundation. As a farmer, have they been easy to work with?
They've been very easy to work with. They're obviously looking for situations where they can learn, and they partner with farmers by offering financial help and even regulatory help of getting through the regulatory issues on some of these projects, and even on the end as collecting data and resubmitting it to regulators to say, here's what we're looking at. We would like this to go be more widespread, be used on a wider scale.
So whether it be educational resources such as Virginia Cooperative Extension, Virginia Tech, Virginia State University, there's a lot of educational resources, and there's also a lot of funding resources with people who have the same goals as you do, is to improve your soil quality, improve water quality.
Yeah, a lot of the funding out there, they're looking for partners that have the same passion for research or just gaining knowledge. So it is a beneficial thing to work together.
All right. Congratulations on your many awards for your farming operation, and it's been a real pleasure to come out to your farm and see somebody that's doing it right.
Well, I appreciate the invitation. Thanks for including us.
Mr. Glenn Rhodes with River Hill Farm in Rockingham County, and we'll be back in just a moment. Well, the month of April means it's time to get busy in the yard and garden, as we learn from Mark Viette.
There are a couple things you need to keep in mind when you're dealing with your lawn after the winter. One of the things, you have to go out and determine if you have a lot of weeds. If you have a few weeds, you're going to treat your lawn differently than if you have a lot of weeds. The other thing is you might want to apply a fertilizer in the spring. Of course, I always recommend fertilizing in the fall. It's one of the best time periods because it builds up that root system to prevent soil erosion. You might use a pre-emergent weed control to prevent weeds from germinating in the lawn. At the same time, these products, and they might say controls weeds for 6 months, 3 months, 4 months, they probably kill existing weeds in your lawn, then they prevent weeds from germinating. It's important to remember, they'll also prevent your grass seed from germinating. So you need to use those products and seeding your lawn, months apart, or you're going to run into problems. Lots of things compete with a healthy lawn. One of those is right beside me. It is a huge maple tree. Not only that, it is a silver maple tree, which is well known to take all the moisture out of the ground. The roots of silver maple trees grow right along the surface, and they can be 3 to 4 inches wide. They even lift up concrete. So your lawn is competing for that very little bit amount of water. What happens after that is the lawn may die out in areas and weeds come in. Weeds like chickweed and Bermuda grass. So then you have to go in and control those weeds. This is the mouse-eared or small-leaved chickweed. And if you look carefully, you'll see a lot of weeds right next to this large tree root from this maple tree. So not a lot of things will grow. What do? One thing you can do is come in with a little topsoil or top dress it and reseed it so this does not hit your lawnmower. The other thing that you need to really keep in mind is always try to mow your lawn at least 3, and I really recommend 4 inches tall. If you mow your lawn tall, the tall blades of grass will really choke out a lot of weeds. Another common weed that many of us have in a garden, both in a garden and even in our lawn, is Bermuda grass. And here is what it looks like in the spring. One of the best ways to control Bermuda grass in the lawn is to start early, like maybe mid-spring, early summer, 2 or 3 applications according to a label of something that controls Bermuda grass will help knock this back in your lawn and prevent it sometimes from getting started in your flower garden. If you really want that workout, get one of these tools, and boy, foot by foot, you will get your workout. You are now ready to seed. If you've got small little areas that you need to seed, you can buy a product like Easy Seed that's already mixed with organic matter. And that means, normally you just stand, but when you look down closely, you have a couple bare spots, you can just go like this. It's got a material that holds moisture plus the seed together. You're set, you're done, irrigate it, it'll germinate. But if you've got large areas that really are empty, you might just need to go out and get a seed by itself and then just seed either by hand or with a seeder. But one thing we have found that really helps in the germination process is to top dress with some type of organic matter. There's so many different types. And here is one that is nice and fine, and it's crumbled. It's like compost, and it does have some nutrients in it. And you would just come in, even with the spreader, and top dress on top of the seed. You can even fill in some depressions at the same time, and then your lawn is ready to be irrigated, and just in maybe anywhere from 4 to 10 weeks, you will have a nice, brand new germinating lawn. For new lawns, it is important to consider using what we call a starter fertilizer. That is designed specifically for a lawn that you've just seeded. And you can also use later, or for an existing lawn, organic fertilizers. And that's important because the organic fertilizers have so many good things. Cocoa hulls, crab meal, crab shells, fish meal. And they really help feed your lawn for a very extended time period. Now, there are other ways to fertilize your lawn, and I'll show you a really quick, easy way right now. This fertilizer system, you just drop the bag in. It's got a guard so fertilizer does not get on your walkways, and it covers a 5-foot area. It's already set. All you do is just walk like this. Then you walk back the other way. Do not crisscross your lawn back and forth. Then you'll be applying too much fertilizer. But it's really just that easy. I'm Mark Viette. Join me next time in the garden.
Our pearl of wisdom this week comes from an anonymous viewer who says, "Some people wonder all their lives if they've made a difference. Farmers don't have that problem." Submit your own pearl of wisdom through our website at virginiafarming.com. Oh, before we go, we would like to remind everyone that this television program is available 24/7 anywhere you have internet access. We've heard from many of our viewers that they're now watching the show on their smartphones, and they're doing that while in their tractor, out in the barn, in the greenhouse, you name it. Just go to virginiafarming.com, where we have more than 100 back episodes available. Anytime you like it, anywhere you like it. Technology these days, it's amazing. That does it for our show this week. Have a great week, everyone. I'm Jeff Ishii for Virginia Farming.
90 years ago, the Virginia Farm Bureau made our local farmers a promise to protect and preserve a way of life they work so hard to establish. We want to keep Virginia, Virginia. Anyone can be a Farm Bureau member, and there's a local Farm Bureau in every county. More information is at vafarmbureau.org.
Virginia soybean farmers are hard at work growing soybeans to produce products you use every day. Candles, soaps, even crayons can be made from soybeans. Remember, when you buy soy, you're helping to support American jobs, the economy, and our nation's energy security.